What is up, everybody? This is Hawaiian Air 2121 with a special Newark Liberty International Airport update. Today's going to be a retro special of EWR, so I hope you guys enjoy. Let's begin. So starting us off for today's airport update, here we have a Continental Airlines Boeing 737-800 without winglets, and this plane is getting some luggage on board for a flight out to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Getting some luggage on board, here's United Airlines Airbus A320-200 in the stunning Battleship Gray livery. This plane is getting some luggage on board for a flight out to Denver, Colorado. Getting some catering and fuel, here's a United Airlines Boeing 757-200 without winglets. And this stunning model is just in the gorgeous blue tulip livery, one of my favorite United Airlines liveries. And this plane is getting some catering and fuel on board for a flight out to Phoenix Sky Harbor. Over here is a fantasy model. Here we have a United Airlines Boeing 787-8 and the blue tulip livery. United never had a 787 in the blue tulip livery. However, I'm a bit short on blue tulip models, so this model will be used. And this model is getting some luggage on board, as you can see by the cart in the back and a luggage truck by the rear door. And this plane is getting some luggage on board for a flight out to San Francisco. Here is United Express E175, and back then it would be the new livery, but the Continental merger livery. And this plane is getting some fuel on board for a flight out to Jacksonville, Florida. First blowing up its crew, here is United Airlines Boeing 737-700 without winglets. As you'll see throughout the update, we don't have any split scimitar aircrafts here. It's only without winglets and with winglets. And this plane is getting its first crew on board for a flight out to Boston Logan. We have a lot of action here, but here's a Continental Airlines 777-200 getting its crew on board, as well as getting some luggage, as we can see by the luggage truck and the luggage belt. But this plane is getting some luggage on board for a flight out to Hong Kong. I'm going to quickly interrupt this video to let you guys know you can buy your Geminijets pre-orders from dgpilot.com. Use coupon code HI10 for orders up to $149.99 or less, or HI12 for orders of $150 or more. This will directly help support the channel, and also I will give you a shout out in my next video. You just have to use the coupon code HI10 or HI12 and you order it from dgpilot.com for a shout out in the next video. Thank you. Just arriving at the airport, here's United Airlines Boeing 767-400, which has just arrived at the airport from a flight from Honolulu, Hawaii. And then over here, one of our first retired aircraft. Here's United Airlines Boeing 767-200. United acquired these planes from the Continental merger livery, but retired them shortly after. But here's United Airlines Boeing 767-200, and this plane has just arrived at the gate from a flight from Houston, IAH. Over here we have United Airlines Airbus A320-200 and the Continental merger livery, waiting for some fuel for a flight out to West Palm Beach. And then we have just arriving at its gate, here's the United Airlines Boeing 757-200 without winglets, just arriving at its gate from a flight from LAX. This actually is a United aircraft. This registration is N542UA. Over here is United Express ERJ-145 with plans to fly out to Asheville, North Carolina. Over here, almost finished getting its baggage on board, here's a Continental Express ATR-42-300 with plans to fly out to Hartford, Connecticut. Next up is just the absolutely stunning American Airlines Boeing 757-200 in the old chrome breast cancer awareness livery, and this plane is taxiing to the runway for flights out to Dallas-Fort Worth. Here is the mighty British Airways Boeing 747-400, just a gorgeous model over here, and this plane has just arrived at the airport and is taxiing to Terminal B from a flight from London Heathrow. And oh man, at gate C90, we probably have my favorite model of this airport update. Here is just the absolutely amazing United Airlines Boeing 747-400 in the blue tulip livery. This model is just a fantastic model, and this plane is getting some heavily catering and some fuel on board for a flight out to Frankfurt, Germany. Right past the beautiful 747, here's a Continental Airlines Boeing 737-500, and this plane is currently getting its luggage on board for a flight out to Tampa, Florida. We have the United Airlines Airbus A320 and the Friendship livery, and this plane is just arriving at the gates from a flight from Chicago ORD. Over here with a gorgeous view of the tulips in the back, here's United Airlines, just a plain 737-800, just with winglets, no split skimmers again, and this plane is getting its luggage on board for flights out to Orlando MCO. Next up, here's another ERJ-145 United Express in this stunning blue tulip livery, and this plane is boarding up its first crew as well as some luggage for flights out to Charleston, South Carolina. Just leaving its gate, here's a United Airlines 737-300 in the blue tulip livery, and this plane is just leaving its gate for a flight out to Buffalo, New York. Here's a United Express CRJ-700 with plans to fly out to Cleveland, Ohio in about 1 hour and 20 minutes. I apologize that the gate is almost double the size of the plane. Here's a United Express -8 Q400, and this plane is taxiing to the runway for a flight out to Norfolk, Virginia. Over here, not trying to give away the Mad Dog, here's the US Airways Airbus A319, the Philadelphia Eagles livery, and this plane is taxiing to Terminal A from a flight from Charlotte. And oh baby, look at this Mad Dog. Here we have the Mad Dog American Airlines MD-80. And this plane has to go to DFW. This plane is taxiing to the runway for a flight out to Dallas Fort Worth. This is just a stunning model. Really sad to see these go, but hey, in this airport update we can include it. Starting us off for the C2 concourse, here we view United Airlines Airbus A319, and this plane is getting some fuel on board for a flight out to Punta Gorda, Florida. Here we have another treasure, a Saab 340B in the United Express blue tulip livery, and this plane has just arrived at the airport from a flight from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And then we have a United Express E170, and this plane is boarding up its passengers and crew for a flight out to Washington IAD. Up next, getting some luggage on board, here's United Airlines Boeing 737-700, and this plane is getting some luggage on board for a flight out to, we will say, Portland, Maine. Here's another gorgeous Continental Airlines Boeing 737-800, this time with winglets, and this plane is getting some luggage on board as well for a flight out to San Antonio, Texas, and will depart the gate in approximately 1 hour after boarding. Down below, here's a United Airlines Boeing 737-900, and this plane is going to be delayed for about 45 minutes due to weather for a flight out to Seattle, Washington. Here's another one of my favorite models, a United Airlines Boeing 767-300 without winglets in the blue tulip livery, and this plane is taxiing to the C1 concourse, I think gate C90, from a flight from San Francisco. Over here is a really rare model, a Continental Airlines Boeing 737-800 in a Star Alliance livery. Continental left SkyTeam and went to Star Alliance once they merged with United, and this plane is taxiing to the runway for a flight out to Atlanta, Georgia. Over here, gate C109-ish, I think this is around the C109 area, but this is a United Airlines 777-200 in the blue tulip livery, another stunning model. This plane is just arriving at its gate, getting some luggage off the plane from a flight from London Heathrow. Here's the Flying Pencil, or the United 757-300, and this plane is first loading up its passengers for a flight out to Los Angeles, or LAX. Up next is a Continental Connection -8 Q400, getting some luggage on board for a flight out to State College, Pennsylvania. Over here is a Delta Connection E170, and this plane plans to taxi out to the runway for a flight out to Atlanta. I think this is one of the last of the blue tulips of this update, but this is just another gorgeous model, United Express CRJ-200, and this plane has plans just to leave the gate for a flight out to Syracuse, New York. Being pulled into the gate, here's a Continental Airlines Boeing 737-700, and this plane is being pulled into the gate from a flight from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Alrighty, starting us off for Terminal B, we have a SkyTeam KLM Boeing 777-300ER, and this plane has plans to fly out to Amsterdam. Not really sure if KLM operated out of Newark. I think they did back in like 2008 to 2012. Not really sure though, so if someone knows that in the comments, please let me know below. Being tugged into its gate, here's an Aer Lingus Airbus A330-200, and this plane has just arrived at the airport from a flight from Dublin, Ireland. Here's a Delta Airlines Boeing 757-200 being heavily catered. Delta used to be the only U.S. carrier out of Terminal B besides Spirit, Allegiant, Frontier, and Sun Country. It used to just be Delta, but this Delta Airlines Boeing 757-200 being heavily catered with luggage and fuel has plans to fly out to Detroit later today. Being catered and getting its first crew on board, here's a Delta Airlines Airbus A319, and this plane has plans to fly out to Minneapolis, St. Paul. And then we have a Delta Airlines Boeing 737-700, which has just arrived at the gate from Atlanta International Airport. It's getting some luggage off the plane, and the crew is deboarding the plane. Here's a Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700 in just the absolutely amazing NBA Slam Dunk 1 livery, and this plane is tacking to the runway for flights out to Houston Hobby. Southwest used to operate out of Newark, believe it or not, and then they pulled out of Newark and went to LaGuardia, but they used to operate out of Newark. Here's a Cathay Pacific Airbus A340-300 in the Member of One World livery. This plane is getting some fuel on board, as we can see by the shell truck below, as well as some catering for a long flight out to Beijing. Over here we have a British Airways 767-300 in the USA tail. This plane is just currently being parked at the gate. It arrived at the gate about 4 hours ago from a flight from London Heathrow, and it's currently just staying at its gate. It's just being parked. Over here is just another stunning 747-400, a British Airways Boeing 747 in the Member of One World's livery. And this plane is just being delayed for about 15 minutes. It has to depart out of its gate any minute now for flights out to London Heathrow, but unfortunately it's being delayed for about 15 minutes. Last but not least for Terminal B, we have a Swiss Air Airbus A330-200, and this plane is first boarding up its passengers for a flight out to Zurich. Over here is another fantasy model, Continental Airlines Boeing 787-8. Fortunately, my Continental fleet is a bit low at the moment, so this Continental Airlines Boeing 787-8 is taxiing to the runway for a flight out to, we will say, Frankfurt, Germany. Here is another stunning model, an American Airlines CRJ700, American Eagle actually, and this American Eagle CRJ700 is taxiing to the runway for flights out to Chicago O'Hare. Just arriving at the airport, here's a United Express E170, and this plane has just arrived at the airport from a flight from Baltimore Thurgood International Airport. United Express used to have the X Plus program at the E170, as we can see over here as the X Plus emblem. Over here we have an Alaska Airlines Boeing 737-400, and this plane is going to be leaving its gate any minute now for flights out to Boise, Idaho. And then we have a WestJet 737-700 with winglets. WestJet used to operate out of Newark as well, out of Terminal A, and this plane is getting some luggage on board for flights out to Calgary. Starting us off for our JetBlues, we have a JetBlue A320, and I think this is the window pane tail in the bada bing bada bloom. This plane is getting some catering, some fuel, and first boarding its passengers for a flight out to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Up next, we have a JetBlue A320 in our 100th A320 special livery. This is a really nice model as well, and this plane is almost about ready to depart its gate for a flight out to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Just arriving at the airport, here we have a JetBlue Airways Airbus A320. I think this is in a Harlequin tail, and this plane is just arriving at the airport from a flight from Orlando MCO. Here we have a stunning chrome American Boeing 757-200 getting some luggage on board for a flight to LAX. This is a really nice model as well. Just arriving at its gate, here is an American Airlines Boeing 737-800, and this plane has just arrived at its gate from a flight from Miami, Florida. Here's a US Airways Express CRJ700, and this plane is leaving Terminal A to taxi to the runway for a flight out to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We have an Air Canada Express Dash 8 Q400 getting some luggage on board for a flight out to Toronto. One of the reasons why I love doing retro updates is for this model right over here, the AirTran Boeing 737-700 without winglets. And this plane is getting its first passengers on board for flights out to Atlanta, Georgia. Just a stunning model over here. Up next, we have a US Airways Express E175. And this plane is getting its first passengers on board as well for flights out to Raleigh, Durham. And over here we have another really nice model, a US Airways Airbus A319 and a Nevada 1 Battleborn Special Tail. And this plane is first arriving at the airport from a flight from Charlotte, North Carolina. Here we have some more Southwests in the Canyon Blue livery. This is a Southwest Boeing 737-700 in the Canyon Blue livery, boarding up for a flight out to Chicago Midway. Getting some fuel and luggage on board, here is the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-300 with plans to fly out to Dallas Love Field. Just arriving at the gate, here is one of my favorite Southwests, the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-300 in the Shamu 1 special livery, just arriving at the gate from a flight from Albuquerque Sunport. Over here at the Cargo Center, we have a FedEx 777F with plans to fly out to Memphis, Tennessee. And then we've also got, being heavily catered with cargo, we have a UPS MD-11F with plans to fly out to Louisville, Kentucky. Just arriving at the airport, here's a JetBlue A320. And this JetBlue A320 in the 10th anniversary tail, I've seen this plane in real life, and it's a gorgeous model and plane. And this plane is taxiing to Terminal A from a flight from Boston, Logan. So I hope you guys enjoyed this retro special Newark Liberty International Airport update. I apologize that this one's a little bit short, just hard to find all these old Continental and United Blue Tulip planes. But I do hope that you guys enjoyed today's airport update. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and comment what your favorite model was below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.